What's going on, guys? Welcome to DPL. We got an exciting game for you tonight. We got Momentum versus the developers, actually, GEC. So excited to see that. My name is the Shoveler, and here with me is Spooky.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, this matchup's going to be great to see, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting, given that the recent update actually this week with the new changes to equipment and a lot of other things. What have you seen so far with the new updates?
Well, I haven't seen much so far, so I'm kind of remaining blind to what's going to happen here. But
Oh boy.
um, but I do know both of these teams, I'd say pretty well for the most part, and how they play. I remember seeing Momentum playing not too long ago, and GEC. Well, I mean, they're making the game, and they know the deepest, darkest secrets of these strats you can do in this game. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see what they're going to do during this match.
Yeah, I mean, as always, Momentum. If they end up losing here, they can always call admin abuse. So it's always reliable. But yeah, excited to see this.
Yeah, so we're gonna get started really, really soon right here.
Yeah, it looks like we got for the developers, we got Ozzy, LTC, Bard, Pizza, and who's the last person? Vince. There we
I
go.
believe that's
And
Vince.
for Momentum, we got Mark Macius, Mighty JSS, Baziak, Razor, and Voxel.
Yeah, I know that the players on Momentum are very strong players, so I'm very, very, very interested to see in how they clash with the developers here.
Yeah, I am too. Have they did they play in the previous season? Do you remember?
I the Momentum, I don't believe so, but they did play in another tournament that I remember casting for. So that was very fun to see them playing, and they were very interesting to see their strats and all that.
All right. Yep.
All right, looks like we're starting here on a factory map. Very, it's a very strange setup. So they've got the green fan with just you just use that as your green door entrance. They've also got the dock set up at the bottom right here. Only one area is actually open to be breached by the attackers, though. So it's a very limiting approach if you're going to go through the docks. And it looks like the office play here is also viable. There's a lot of windows you can get shot from if you're going in as an attacker, but as a defender, you can use this to kind of watch the docks from up here. You can also, rotate very quickly to the bomb room. The problem is you've got this red door behind you, kind of limiting your entry. So I think the best bet here, and I think this is what the attackers are going to be taking, they're going to be going for this fan and toxic play. They're going to try to hit this power, and hitting that power during the factory map is very, very powerful here. Because it gets very dark, and especially with the bomb room being in the center of the factory, there's no lights in there from the windows, so it's going to be very difficult for the defenders to actually see into the bomb room once that power goes out.
Yeah, that's a good point. With these long sight lines, having the power out is very crucial here. It looks like, yeah, honestly, I've never seen a car parked up to a green fan before, so that's pretty interesting. But it does look like they're going to that intro to toxic play here. We got LTC and Ozzy holding up there with an interesting barbed wire, trying to prevent them from getting to that, actually locking down the power there. So it looks like they'll be holding an angle on there, knowing how powerful it is. But it looks like Razor's gonna probably throw a flashbang through the window up there. So we'll see what we do in the
Very
breach. There's the
efficient.
breach here. Busting into toxic. Shots go out. See, Voxel takes down Vince pretty quickly, and getting caught in that barbed wire mess up there. Actually, down goes Voxel from Ozzy, holding that storage. Down goes Bard. Actually, it's shelving with Baziak taking him out. Playing it, slowing it down here with JSS and Macias. Razor peeking that green fan over there, holding down storage with Ozzy, and Pizza actually peeking from office, waiting for that rotation through Doc. They Let's see here. Momentum knows pushing that power is probably a little too dangerous there with all that barbed wire. They didn't bring well, actually they did bring a frag, but they're deciding not to use it there. Let's see what they do here. Slowly creeping into dock. LTC is waiting for them to peek. Pizza taking some shots there from Baziak. Exchanges some shots. No one goes down. Holding it pretty tight here. Razor trying to peek around. Frag
Oh,
goes out, taking out LTC and Pizza. Let's see. And down goes Ozzy with a nice rotation from Mighty JSS. Looks like they locked it down pretty nicely there. It seems like maybe they forgot about that rotation up through Toxic and kind of caught him off guard there.
yeah, the attackers momentum, they played it very smart here. They all waited until they were in the correct positions to go out, fully with their assault. And we saw the frag grenade go down to take care of the guy down by the underneath the staircase. And then we saw, quick taking out the person up in office and instantly also taking out the person down in storage in the bomb room, taking them all out all at once, making sure that none of them were able to rotate to help each other. And they moved very slowly, but they attacked very precisely. And I think that's what won them that round here.
Yeah, not a lot of whole missed shots from momentum there. That was very nice to see. Unfortunately for for the devs there, they couldn't quite keep up.
Yeah, the entry on the toxic room was a little bit rough. I saw some of the flashes were bouncing off the windows, sadly, but they also got cut up on that barbed wire, but they were able to pick up pretty quickly and keep on going and just shut that power off to get the advantage right off the bat.
Yeah, once it became a numbers game, they were able to make that pretty safe rotation. Moving on, Kill House here. Let's see what we got.
Kill House with that's a lot of vault doors.
Ooh, that is a we got an airlock and a vault. Oh my god! What the airlock starts open? Is that what I'm seeing right there?
Yeah, this is very weird. So it seems like the main green door entrance to this map is going to be the airlock. So I guess you got to tuck everyone into the map to get into the green door entrance, and they're going to hear you coming, and they're going to know you're coming, and they're going to be able to shoot you as well. That window, just staring right into the airlock.
Oh, I did.
Very
I think
interesting.
does the airlock have an? Yeah, it's got a button on the outside there, actually, down south. So yeah, they'll definitely hear you coming for sure.
Yeah, and they'll be able to see you coming as well. So the vault door, we've seen this on a lot of Kill House maps. You press the button and it opens up the door, and then you got to go to the actual vault to open up or to actually defuse the bomb. But now we're seeing a lot more creative use with the maps here on the vault doors, using this airlock system to kind of I don't know, it makes some more interesting gameplay here. It makes the attackers think, but it doesn't look like they're going to be making much use of it. I think they're going to be going for the safe play here done by Brick House. It's a pretty close entry into the bomb room as well, and so the defenders are just right away opening up that vault door. I believe they're setting up maybe someone in there. No, it looks like they're just going to keep the door open. Maybe they're. I can't tell if they're trying to tuck people into the vault room or not. Oh no! They're just setting up some barbed wire.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, Ozzy is going in there with the auto shotty though.
Oh man, hoping to trap someone in there with him. All right, a whole lot of action going in kitchen here. It looks like going for that club push and a brick house push, possibly. Let's see what they do here. Holding that club down, we've got Bard and Pizza.
Yeah, they're playing it very, very defensively in kitchen right there.
Mm-hmm, for sure. That barbed wire is going to be a mess to go through. I'm not seeing I don't see any frags on the attackers here, so going through that's going to be a little tough. Busting into brick house. Let's see, momentum busting through, clearing it, flashing it. Bard and Pizza making a rotation into office. Shots go out onto LTC, but he's not going down. A flash goes out. GEC caught line. He's still firing it. Obviously trying to rotate down. LTC getting lit up in the kitchen. Brickhouse coming through on the backside. Gonna catch Brazier going down. Already on the bomb. We've got two defenders going in on one attacker. Oh, but he's held down in quite a tough spot. That bomb has a lot of cover to it, so going in is always a bit difficult. Bar gonna try to do something here with the Lagras. Let's see what he can do. Putting pressure by defusing the bomb, trying to get him to peek out. Razor, Razor takes him down with a nice shot. He actually got a 3K. I didn't notice that. That's pretty awesome. Picking up the other shot for next round, very smart.
Razor just ran in there grabbing the 3K, ran into the vault room, took out Ozzy immediately before the auto shot could do too much damage to momentum, and then using the kind of closeness of the vault to just kind of keep all the defenders out while he diffuses. Very smart play, and grabbing some defender equipment as well before the round ends as well.
Yeah, I think Ozzy was just hoping to blow them away with that auto shotty, but unfortunately, with enough flashes, it makes it kind of difficult.
Yeah, Razor just ran right in there to take out the auto shotty.
Yeah. They were expecting a vault push. Unfortunately, that rotation into brick house is a little difficult given there's only one entrance there. It makes it easy for attackers to actually block that entrance and that rotation. But quite an interesting map that was. It looks like Operation Receiver Galad was throwing a bit of a curveball for us.
Yeah, we didn't see much use of the airlock, but that's okay.
Yeah, that was an awkward position for it, but I hope we see more in the future. All right, we're gonna be moving on to C store here, I believe. Hopefully we'll
Yeah,
see
we
what we
are
got
going to
in just a second.
be moving to the C store, and I don't think we've seen a wall charge be used yet. So I think that's where this is going to be used to either go for some sort of storefront push or maybe a teller's play, as most teams like doing. Oh, but
Oh, that.
interestingly enough, the
Oh
tellers is not pushed up against anything.
my. Yeah.
Actually, a standalone thing, so a teller's play is not really that possible.
Man, someone gets into tellers asking someone to step into the ring.
Yeah, this reminds me a lot of like a really old alpha map design, which is interesting. I mean, the tellers is kind of offset on its own. In these newer maps, we've seen the teller be pushed up against walls, kind of cover up an entire area, and you can wall charge into it. But here, it's just by itself in the center. We've got the big storefront in the middle with all the rooms just kind of residing around it, and there's not much room for any crazy wall charge plays, I don't think, other than just going through green door, hitting this wall charge to get an extra entry, or maybe just using any of these red doors to kind of get an extra entry into the map or into the storefront. I mean, but it just looks like this map's going to be all up to gunplay and smoke utility, flash utility, and all that.
For sure, this is going to be an absolute shootout. With how big storefront is, do you think we'll see some changes with maybe some longer range weapons than more of the SMGs in the short range?
Yeah, I think it's probably in the best interest of the defenders here to use some of the longer range weapons that I don't think they use too much of.
I
It
don't.
looks
I
like, I
don't
mean,
believe
they've used the
so.
Igmar, but they do have Allegros, I believe. They have used the KR, but I think it's in the best interest to bring at least 2 or 3 of them to set up 3 people in the storefront, and then they can have a couple close range weapons set up in the actual entry rooms, or at least in freezer and bathroom to cover up that green door entry. Make sure they're not getting any free entry there, but I'm not sure. They're just making good use of their utility here, setting up the barbed wires in the doorways to the actual storefront, and then setting up the rest of the people where they can't barb wire.
Bard there shooting out uh, some of the goods there in freezer to get a good look into the front end of storefront. I expect here as soon as they break in, it's going to be an absolute shootout. Flash is going out. It's going to be a whole mess.
Yeah, and it does look like they have, a setup here for
Is that Razor actually
a wall
packing a
charge.
molly there?
Yeah, Razor picked that up from last round on that
Yeah, he
on
is.
that kill house, so that's going to be useful to clear out any rotations.
Looks like they're going to be picking off that corner. Yep, launching it out. Molly, quick Molly goes out to slow it down, trying to get a peek onto anyone they can. They're just hiding behind those shelves, hoping for a peek. Gonna wait for this Molly to disperse. The smokes went out, but they're gonna stay longer than that Molly. Another Molly to delay them. A smart play here from the developers. It's like they built this game or something.
Yeah, a lot of time is being wasted here by these mollies, and making sure they can't pass through at all for like the first, probably half of a minute here. Oh,
Yeah.
an accidental team kill.
Oh, a team kill. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Let's see here. Another Molly. Oh my goodness. Well, it is the last round for them defending, so might as well.
Yeah, they're pacing these Molotovs very well. I think they expected some sort of storefront play.
Yeah, there goes the
It's not
frag.
getting missed though.
Yeah, gonna be a big miss. Everyone busting in, going for a big shootout here. Razor goes down. In the tellers, Voxel waiting for someone to
Oh no.
busting in. Ozzy takes him out. A bloodbath for the attackers right here. Massey is the only one left with a saver. I think let's see if he can get a couple peeks on here. Maybe save the day. It's gonna be rough for him though.
There's not much Macius could do here. I mean,
I
the
know.
defenders have got this locked down. They've got double shotgun set up on the actual hole, and now Bard's
Yeah,
rushing out
right
to get the kill.
hearing that awful sound of the drone outside, risking it. No one goes down to it though. Hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very rough in that situation if you're an attacker there because you're getting Molotov left and right. There's nothing you can do to actually get into the map, and the one thing they could have maybe done to at least secure more of a foothold on that map was to go through that green door, maybe get up a split push to kind of split the attention of the defenders there. But they didn't really do it. They committed very hard to one entry, which you can respect that at the very least. But I think the best thing they could have done there was maybe go for that green door entry and kind of split the attention of the defenders first, and then rush in with the wall charge, making sure that they can't Molotov it off very quickly.
For sure, would have definitely saved them a lot of time in the end. It was my first experience of seeing the new extended amount of mollies being just absolutely punished on the attackers.
Yeah.
Fortunately for them, it didn't end up. All right, switching sides here. We got the developers on the defense now, and momentum on the attack. So let's see what they can do now here on Factory.
Yeah, so Gek's now on the attacking team, like you said. So I think I'm not too sure what they're gonna do here. I mean, it's very possible they could go for the same play that Momentum did. They go for the toxic play, go for the power, and then move into storage. But I don't know if that's very that's gonna help them too much because at the very least, we saw last time that we saw that they had the barbed wire set up there. Momentum knows that this is a strong position, so I think they're gonna try to hold that power to make sure that no one really grabs that. Um, I'm not too sure if this is possible. I don't think it is. I was gonna say maybe they could wall charge into the storage room from office, but I don't think that's possible. I think that's
I'm not
too.
sure.
I don't think it's gonna allow them to wall charge that. But that would be interesting if they could
Bit
wall
of,
charge straight into the bomb room just from the ceiling.
yeah, bit of a drop attack there. That'd be interesting. Maybe we'll see that in
Yeah,
the
but
future.
I don't know. They seem very indecisive with what they want to do, and I would be too. This is a very strange map to try to attack. I mean, you're either being super limited on the docks, or you're being super limited on office, or you're being super limited on toxic. The best entry you could go for is the fan, but even then, you're very exposed from multiple
Very exposed.
positions. But the fan at least gives you more freedom of where you want to go.
Right, yeah. Maybe they could help it out with a little bit of smoke to maybe block it out. But yeah, anyway, that's very risky to approach that way. Yeah. Gonna have the defenders locking down toxic, similar play to before. They
Yeah,
picked
they're
some
just kind
long
of setting
range
up that
weapons
barbed
here.
wire there. Although they kind of set up the barbed wire in a bit of an awkward position.
Yeah, I think they may
It
be
could have been
able to.
extended to go a little bit longer, but
Yeah, with the new size limits on the barbed wire, they may be able to sneak around it. I'm not too sure.
yeah, I'm not too sure either. But it does look like the Gek wants to go for an office play here. We do see some barbed wire set up there, and Mighty is the only one in there with the shotgun. Macius is below the office, but I don't know if the mob's going to do much to
Yeah.
delay against a super hard push by the attackers
With
here.
the amount of defenders in dock, it's going to be a heck of a rotation to get there for that office push. I think they're maybe waiting, holding the sight line on that green door. But here we go. We got the push. Flash goes out. Mighty JSS stuck in there. Molly goes out. He goes down to Pizza. See, the smoke's out, covering their approach. Voxel and Ozzy, oh, with a nice skirmish, with a bit of a trade there. Bard sneaking into that green fan. He gets taken out, but also taking out Massius. Razor rotating into Toxic, so maybe, oh, but he's getting picked off by Vince there. Baziak trying to make a play in the last minute here. Pizza and Vince trying to, but he's got
Ooh.
the nice tight line covered. That sight line was nicely covered by Vince there in the end. And a good performance from the developers taking that office play. That was pretty smart.
Yeah, they made pretty good use of. They kind of attacked the defender's weak point, if anything. I mean, a lot of the defenders were kind of concentrated near the bottom of the map, a little bit on the left and in the middle. But for the most part, no one was really in office. They had one shotgun in there that wasn't playing close to the door, and so because of that, they got flashed super hard. And then after that, there was nothing they could do. They got sprayed down. Ozzy made very quick ground moving to the other side of that room. Ozzy did get taken down, but we saw that I believe it was Vince was able to get the trade very quickly, and they just stayed up in numbers the entire time, and they were able to keep the upper hand on momentum that way.
Yeah, that was a nice example of playing very controlled and very precise.
Now we're back onto the kill house map with the roles reversed now. I want to see Get go for the airlock here.
I would love to see it, honestly. They know it's there. They know how it works. It would be amazing to see it.
But yeah, so we saw last time that they went for this the brick house room, and it worked pretty well for the most part. They were able to take quick control of the kitchen just using this door. None of the people that were up in club were able to rotate fast enough to get down to kitchen to try to control the situation, and because of that, they were able to take very quick control of the vault, and then they used the kind of layout of the vault to make sure that no defenders could get in by just holding that one entry to the vault. So I think GEC's going to go for a similar play here. Yep, there we go. They are drawing lines to go to the brick house, so I believe that that's the plan they're going to be going for, and it's probably the strongest plan on this map, I think. Club is a little bit weird. The red door is just kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, club just with the distance and just the sight lines there, it makes it for a very difficult push, don't you think?
Yeah, because I think the thing here is that for the most part, I mean, it's kind of situational, but I was going to say that the defenders are kind of weaker in closer range because the attackers have a little bit more health, so they can deal with eating a little bit more shots. And so they can go in these close range areas and blast defenders with shotguns or even the AP and still mostly come out on top. But on the longer ranges, the defenders have like mops and Ingmars that can play for cover and a lot more, picking off damage. So longer ranges is harder, so that's why club would be a little bit more difficult, and brick house might work a bit better, but they do have a lot more forces set up on the southern side of the map here. So
yeah, they actually locked that airlock this time, but it looks like they're going for that entrance into brick house. Kitchen gonna be another point of contention here, locking down the cookie jar in there. Let's see what they decide to do here. Opening the airlock, maybe trying to do a little bit of mind games. Now they're gonna be locked in there. Alright, Vince busting into brick house. Molly goes out to block their way, but that's going to be a long way for Razor to go through that barbed wire. Voxel with the rotation down into office. But peeking on that, but that airlock is closed. He's not able to see them. Flash goes out. Voxel gets absolutely lit up. Ozzy getting lit up by Baziak. Bard with the rotation. He's running for his life. Let's see what he can do. Oh, a frag goes out in the kitchen, but it's not going to catch anybody. Baziak and Bard having a little struggle there. Oh, it takes forever, but down goes Bard. Pizza in office.
Does get brought to low health though from that.
So making a rotation back in the kitchen, Baziak. Club still being held down by Macias. It's going to be a bit of a slow play here as time is still winding down for the attackers. Pizza, Vince, and LTC wanting to do something, trying to come up with a play here. Looks like there's going to be a rotation into club. Macias has got it covered. He's tucked away in that corner there. Going to be hard. Baziak goes down, being caught in the open. Macias with the rotation, taking out Vince. Pizza able to withhold the rampant fire from Macias. LTC hammering into kitchen. Time is winding down. They're going to have to make a play right now. Holding that auto shot is going to be a very tough push into kitchen for both these players. But catching them, if they move in at the same time, it's going to be tougher to defense. Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. Mighty JSS goes down. Razor trying to hold it off. Pizza with the push finally to defuse the bomb. Time is running down though. I think he still got it.
I think so. It's gonna be very, very close.
Oh, so close. Let's see. Oh, he's got time.
2 seconds. Yeah, they moved in there very quickly. Once they realized that timer was going down, they just started rushing in, and they made good use of their placement in the map to kind of pincer attack that auto shotty and then move in on that vault.
Exactly what happened. That double play to cut off their Mighty JSS with that auto shotty was crucial. If one of them had moved without the other, it would have been a bloodbath.
Yeah, we saw that one of the attackers that was in the brick house did try to peek the auto shotty for half a second, but they saw the auto shot and they backed up, and then the other teammate, Mighty, I believe, was able to come in and take out the auto shotty, and then they moved in onto the vault together. It was very close though. They almost both died there, but it wasn't looking like the defenders could hold it off that well. And we also did see the airlock be used, and I'm not too sure if it was a deciding factor in the round, but I'd like to think that it definitely played a hand into winning the round for the attackers, because they were able to get a little bit of a flank on the defenders that were up in the office. So
even if it didn't, let's just say it did.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to C-Star here.
Yeah, so we've got the C-Store Fang Forge, and once again, it's a very weird layout, but it's definitely interesting. It brings out a lot more of the gunfights, I think, and that's if they're able to get into the map, and they're not spammed with Molotovs. But we are gonna maybe see a little bit more storefront wall charge action here, and I think it's really the only play you can go for here. You go for
Yeah,
the
I believe
storefront,
so.
you go for the green door, and
Yeah, all
you
they've
make
got
good
now is a
use of
wall
that.
charge.
Yeah, so it's gonna be rough for the defenders here. I think they're gonna have their attention split, and they're not gonna know exactly where to hold. I think the biggest problem for them is holding that storefront breach, but they're also gonna have people coming in through the green door, maybe holding this freezer. Maybe I'm not too sure if they want to commit to that green door, but
Yeah, I believe
if
they're going
they
to try to blow
do,
that storefront down there to get the widest angle sightlines that they can, rather than what we saw in the last game where they breached that corner. It really limited their light sight, yeah, that their sight lines, and they were just really held up by that molly.
well, I think if I'm not don't have terrible memory. I think they might have a charge other than the wall charge left. I can't remember.
I
I
believe
don't
they've used
think
both
so though.
their charges.
Yeah, I think they have used both. So I was gonna say maybe they can go for a sightline hole on the storefront, but it doesn't look like that's gonna be happening. They're just
Seeing
gonna go
maybe
for
a
a regular
split up
wall
here,
charge.
but we do have the saber out by
Ooh.
Bard here, so we should be seeing that and the mop. So this should be very fun to see. Maybe a lot of hot shots here through that storefront entrance. LTC and Pizza maybe going for that storage entrance just to mix it up a little bit to relieve pressure from that storefront. Storefront blown open, sightlines for days. Bard looking into arcade, looking for a shot. It's not gonna find when Molly goes out. Storage kerfuffle with Vixel and LTC. Voxel goes down to Pizza. Ozzy making the rotation all the way
You
back with
have
storage.
3 Molotovs set up in the storefront. The second one's gonna go out. Vince's gonna get a shot all the way up into freezer with a mop.
That's a big shot. I don't even think he cleared out any of the goods out in freezer, so it's very hard to see that shot, but it was very nice. Storage being held down by the attackers here. Maybe thinking there's something else going on in freezer. They're gonna flash it out. Razor held in the back with the tack 11. Gonna see what he can do with it.
Yeah,
Ozzy going in.
Matrix does
Even
not.
down goes Macias. Razor takes him out with that attack. Going down to
Oh man.
LTC. Look. Oh, a very nice push, very clean push from the attackers here.
Yeah, that was that was rough for the defenders. They were, like I said before, that pincer attack on the green door in the storefront is really, really difficult to hold if you don't split your attention correctly. And they had their Molotov set up on the storefront, but they were kind of holding back them. They weren't throwing them that much, and because they were able to get breached in from storefront, if Mace had peeked for just a second to throw that Molotov, maybe, but Mace was also being attacked from the freezer from that green door push. So it's a little bit of a rough situation. I don't know if there was much they could have done there, but a very smart play from GEC, and that puts them up in score and ahead of momentum here.
Yeah, definitely splitting that attention there from the back and the front really gave them a big advantage there. So switching teams again. Let's see how this ends. Still a close game. Still could be anybody's game. 2-4. Moving on to factory here.
Yep, and we are going to get a different map now. The Silas. We're getting a lot of gimmicky maps today.
I know. I think that maybe the devs had something to do with this.
Yeah, I think it was admin abuse here.
For sure. Put it in the chat. Call them out.
Yeah, this is very interesting silos play. So they could be anywhere along these catwalks. I mean, if you're attacking this, then I mean, this is really rough to hold. Unless you're going to grab these green doors here to make sure that no one's on these long sight lines. It's going to be rough because if you're in this middle area, they could be actually anywhere.
Yeah, this actually reminds me of that map in GoldenEye 007 where they have all the canisters and it's like a laboratory. I don't know if you remember that. But I'm getting heavy flashbacks to that here. Hopefully we don't see Oddjob running around with the PP7.
Well, we do. This power is in a very strange place as well. I mean, it's right in front of the docks, and it's not a hard area to take, I don't think. But the problem is that the defenders could be watching it from the silos catwalk. They could be back here. They could be in this back area here. So taking that power is going to be difficult if they try to go for that. Going for the server's push is viable, and they could grab the green door entry to get into storage and make sure to clear the silo catwalk area with those sight lines. And I don't think any of the defenders are making any crazy use of the catwalks. I only have one person up there right now, so that's it's gonna be interesting.
It's just a lot to cover.
Yeah, it sure is. It's a very long bomb room, and I don't know how the attackers are going to approach
Attackers
this.
maybe going for that server entrance. Let's see. Voxel spraying out there, seeing that door's open. Ozzy's in there. Molly out to slow him down. They're gonna have to make a rotation into the storage possibly here. Mighty GSS covering it down. They're maybe just waiting for that Molly to go out to make their push into the bomb and silos. They're holding it down. Molly in storage there. Mighty GSS holding it down. Massius the backup. A big flash and smoke into shelving. Gosh, that is an open area. Push into storage here. Lights go out. Making a push into silos. Vince trying to take him out. He's gonna see no one in there. Another. See Voxel taking out Ozzy. Mighty GSS taking out Pizza. Sneaking out on Bard. Bard's aware of him though. Fazio goes down. Massius and Mighty GSS, the 2v2 here. Let's see what can happen.
Yeah, just these last two here, and we're seeing that Bard and LTC are sticking together very well. Mighty has the shotgun though, so they do definitely have the range advantage on them.
Interesting to throw that Molly. I believe that was from maybe one of the defenders or the attackers.
I'm not too sure.
Massey is sneaking in there, trying to catch LTC. He does. Bard coming in back. Mighty GSS goes down to Bard. Let's see, it's just Massius and Bard here. Let's see what happens. Oh, Massius with a nice peek there. Take him out.
Yeah, it's gonna bring the score to the 3-4, and it was a rough defense for Momentum there. Although I think that the attackers made too many mistakes for the defenders not to take advantage of that. Ozzy pushed into silos by himself. They had the person in storage with the shotgun in there for the longest time, and were not taken out, I don't believe. So, Momentum was just taking their corners, picking their battles very, very, intelligently. Mighty only really peaked when his teammate had the advantage on the silos there. I'm losing my train of thought here. I completely forgot what the map already looked like. Yeah, Mighty had their teammate to cover that entry there. So, the attackers were being pincered attacked there, and I think Momentum had a very strong defense there, but I have a new Kill House map, double X.
Double X.
No airlock, sadly, but
I always love seeing the vault maps. It always makes for some very interesting plays.
Yeah, because it introduces two objectives to the map. You first got to go for the button, and then you got to go for the vault. But you can split your team up to take two different objectives. So you can have one team go for the button, and then have the other team take control of the vault room, so that once that button does get pressed, you're already ready to run in. But even with that, one thing could go wrong on either side, and then now you're at a disadvantage because your entire team is set up on one side of the map. So it's definitely a risky strategy to go for both objectives, but it kind of makes the attackers think about how they want to approach the problem.
I mean, you might have to on this map. It is an absolute hustle from that button to the vault once you get it open, because it definitely blocks off that hallway once the door opens. It blocks off the area that would be coming from the button straight to the vault.
Oh yeah.
But it looks like maybe they might go for a wall charge here, which would be very smart.
Yeah, because like you said there, when pressing a vault button is going to close off that hallway. So yeah, they'd have to run all the way through club, through lockers, into kitchen, into office, and that's a really rough path to take.
I agree. I think I think they're going for pushing the button altogether, and then that wall charge into office, which is a tight office. But if someone's covering that sightline there, they may get blown up by this wall charge.
Yeah, I mean, that last round they did use no utility or no explosive utility there, so they do have some room to use some of it here, and I think that's exactly what they're doing, because, I mean, what can they do? Yeah, they do have the wall charge, they have the explosives. It looks like that's their exact plan.
Busting into backstage, Massey is trying to get a couple shots, but he backs all the way in the hallway. No one covering backstage in that corner there. That may have been crucial. All right, devs move in, frags go out, gonna find nobody, flashes. Voxel loading up that hallway with the TAC-11. holding that hallway sight line. Ozzy with the sniper. See if he can get anyone. Doesn't look like they're going to.
Now
Alright, one
Voxel's locked in with the develop. Oh, Voxel's sneaking out.
Whew! Oh, that was very close for him.
All the
Going for
defenders are
that
set up in
push
the
in the
office right now.
Excited to see what this happens. Oh, maybe Voxel might be caught by this wall charge. I don't think he will. Oh, he's very close. Oh, he's freaking out right now. Bard coming through. Pizza going into it. Mollies go out. It's an absolute panic. Running the Razor goes down. Razor goes down. Oh man, 3v4 right now. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, Ozzy's watching their flank, but Ozzy really needs to go and help their team here.
All right, 2v3 now. Voxel backed up into kitchen. Pizza just waiting his time. Vault loaded down with an auto shotty and that LMG. This is going to be really hard to push. Ozzy with just a saber may be able to peek someone off, but they're hiding in the corners. You're not going to be able to get a very good sight line on that. Making his way in. Oh, he gets absolutely lit up by Mighty JSS. Just no chance. Pizza making his way in. Oh, taken out very efficiently with that nice rotation from Voxel just to confirm it.
Yeah, very tough situation there for the attackers. There's not, much they can do when every single defender's in that office. I mean, it was a massacre in there,
Absolutely. That wall charge was crucial. I don't think they ever saw that coming.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if a defender was, standing in front of that wall, I think maybe they expected the wall charge to come through. I'm not too sure, but I think the defenders were very clearly, avoiding any of the 7 walls there so they wouldn't get blasted by anything. But if any defenders were caught in that explosion, I think it could have evened the odds there and put it into the attackers' favor. But no one was caught in it, and they rushed in without any flashbangs. Bard moved in without any flashbangs specifically, and I think that caused Bard to die there.
Fortunately, it didn't work out for them, but yeah. Well, moving on to C-Store now. Let's see what they could do here.
Yeah, the score is a very even 4-4, and now we've got the C-Store. It's looking once again like the old map as well. I mean, they've got the center storefront, although the Tellers is its own room now, so it's not its own little caged off area. So they could go for it, but it's just a door in, so they could go for the shed and go for the office and then grab the Tellers, but a little bit risky to go for that because they can hear you every step of the way there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Rust Retribution is the operation name.
Yeah.
Silly name.
Interesting map name, but this arcade is in a weird spot as well. It's a very, claustrophobic arcade. It's just a very small tile. There's arcade machines everywhere, but it's just a very open area, and then the power is just stacked up at the bottom.
I wouldn't want to be caught in there as an attacker, or a defender, I should say.
Yeah, it's very open. There's no cover at all to hide behind, although I think you might be able to maybe take cover in the DDR machine, but not much cover other than that.
If only the game could be settled by that.
Looking at the rest of the map, though, I mean, it looks like a normal green door push here on the storage. I mean, they've got the green door, they've got the window, and then that leads into bathroom. Although bathroom does have a few stalls that the defenders could hide in to kind of mess with the attackers. But it looks like they're mostly setting up in the tellers area and the freezer. So they're setting up on the main red doors here and making sure that the attackers don't go for an easy teller play. Moving from green door. But it looks like they want to go for freezer, which might be a little bit tough for them if they're going for the power, because there is some barbed wire in the way, but they do have a frag grenade to counteract that.
All right, Devs maybe pushing into freezer here. Bard maybe going up to just push that door just to cause a little bit of confusion. Looks like that's what they did. Pushing around. There's actually a green door into storage they might use, but I think they're all going to be pushing into freezer here.
Yeah, and Voxel can definitely hear them at this point, I think. They're making a lot of noise.
Absolutely. Baziak holding down that arcade, but I think he'll backpedal as soon as that door opens. Actually, he's holding it out, looking for a sightline.
Oh, Voxel in kind of bad position there.
We're going in for the back. Catches Voxel off guard. Baziak going down from a nice shot from Ozzy with that long-range black tar.
Yeah, Momentum's playing a little bit too aggressively, I think. I mean, Voxel was pushed up way too hard.
Absolutely. I think they need to back up here, maybe focus on storefront and the bomb. Oh, Bard getting picked off by Razor with a very slow play. Now the devs moving in here. Freezer into storage. making a big rotation around here into office, into bathroom, but they're playing slow. They're playing very controlled. Smoking off bathroom, prevent that push. Moving into storefront around the bomb, Massius and MyGSS holding down tellers. They can see them through the doors, but they aren't able to shoot through them. They are bulletproof.
Ooh,
Molly
Molotov
the
thrown on
bomb
the
to
bomb there.
prevent the pressure. Very smart. While that smoke begins to dissipate.
Vicious also has another Molotov, so another Molotov could be thrown, I think.
I believe
Yep,
so.
looks like that's what's happening.
2 power weapons holding up in tellers.
Oh,
That
we
could
can
be the
still
main
defuse it,
switch.
though. That
Oh,
Molotov is
Razor trying
slightly
to
off
make the last minute rotate into freezer, but LTC catches him. All right. Oh, with the bullet from the frag through the entrance. Oh, that's so dirty. Being in cleaning up Massius. Oh, you hate to see it.
Yeah, that was rough.
Did he
Man.
pop that bomb through the little slot in the teller machine? Because if so, that was disgusting.
I don't know. I couldn't tell if the door was open or not, but if that went through the teller hole, that was a risky maneuver there with the frag grenade.
Really
It
was.
definitely worked out.
Dev's looking thrilled with that push.
Yeah. I mean, they made pretty good use of their entry there. They played it kind of slow. They let momentum kind of peak them, and momentum shouldn't have peaked a lot of those entrances. Voxel was pushed up in a strange position. I don't know if there was much Voxel could have done to escape that situation. They had the window on storage looking in, and then they had the push on freezer, and not much you could do. Bajik was looking through the freezer door as well, and got picked off because of that. We did see the shotgun rotation to take out Bard early on, which is very needed, I think, for the defenders, but it wasn't enough to secure the round entirely, especially with that frag grenade going into the tellers. That was rough.
Back into the 007 map on Purple Halberd. That silo's looking like a just absolute crazy room. We've seen a lot of craziness and uncontrolled play in there, so I'm probably going to see that again here.
Yeah, and I think one thing that so we haven't seen much of today, at the very least, is moving through the docks, and I think maybe going for this power would be nice, but we haven't seen a lot of docks plays yet, and I think that's just because I mean, a lot of the docks are in very open spaces. I mean, just looking at this, you could be set up anywhere and just completely demolish the docks play, but
yeah,
you also could have someone on fan to kind of cover your entry, and you can kind of cut off some of those sight lines. So it's kind of it requires a lot more manpower and a lot more risk to go through docks, and I think that's why a lot of the teams haven't been wanting to go through docks. And I think the safest option would be to go through servers, as we saw last time, but I don't know what Momentum's going to go for. I mean, they haven't really planned for much here using their lines, so it's hard to know what they're thinking, but I think that their best move is to go for maybe, I mean, if they really want to, they go for that silos door. And actually, it looks like they want to go for docks, interestingly enough, once I mentioned that.
Hopefully, maybe not some commentators curse here, Docs. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, hopefully not. But I don't know. I think if they have people set up on the fan and they watch each other's backs, I think it wouldn't be that bad. Especially because a lot of defenders set up on the silos there. I don't think they're expecting a fan push. Although Bard is set up with the mop on there, that could hurt them quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, they are. Bard actually like watching the fan for the most part, but he's probably gonna hear them coming up to the dock. I don't know.
What was that?
Through dock on the Bard. Oh, down goes the mop, and it looks like Ozzy may pick it up.
Happened. I guess Bard's opened up the door for no reason.
You think he did? I think they did. Oh, that's just awful.
I'm not sure why he did that, but there we go. The wall charge going off.
I think that's just maybe some sixth sense there from the devs, or from Momentum there. Ozzy picking up that mop. Oh, he gets taken off by Razor. They're making a play on the silos here. Vince picking up a few kills there.
Oh, frag and take out pizza.
Oh, just Vince here to hold it own, but but they go down. And wow, what a push here by Momentum. That was just nuts. I'm gonna believe that was a wall bang, and if it was, man, I would be checking to see if maybe he's got like some sixth sense or maybe some ESP, because that was just nuts.
Yeah, Bard definitely opened the shutter door for whatever reason. I'm not too sure why, but Bard definitely opened it, peeked his back to it, and then they just kind of took him out, and then Ozzy closed it back up.
I see.
And Bard's saying in chat, "I am dumb." I can agree with Bard.
I am dumb.
I agree with you.
Feels bad.
I'm not too sure what that was, but sometimes that's how it is.
Wow. Maybe it's just a misclick. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know, but Ozzy was very quick to kind of try to band-aid the situation back up, closing it up and taking the mop. And Ozzy did get one shot off on the attackers, bringing them down to like I believe very low health, and just wasn't enough though. Ozzy was overwhelmed by attacking force, just flashes everywhere. The power
Yeah,
going off. It was really hard.
the second Bard went down, it just became uncontrolled chaos for Ozzy over there, panicking, trying to get
Oh,
a few shots, close that door, and grab that mop and try to
I
clean it up,
believe
but he
what
just couldn't do it.
Bard was gonna go for was opening up the truck with the trailer hooked up to it, but I think he opened up the wrong one.
I think that's probably what happened.
Yeah, it was the one to his left. That's
All right,
that
seeing double
happens, I
X here
guess.
with that vault.
Yeah, now we're seeing a vault map here, and we're gonna see momentum going with the attack here, and I think with the wall charge play that they did last round, they're not gonna go for a crazy move here in the hallway. So I'm not too sure what exactly they'll go for here, but I think looks like their best bet. I mean, they've used a few explosives so far,
So
and I think their best bet is to go for this lockers and try to control the button and just move together as a team. I think having to rotate all the way through all these rooms to get to the office is rough, but I think it's their best bet if they want to flash in. I mean, if all the defenders are tucked into that room, all they have to do is flash in a couple times, and they've taken them out.
looks like to be a push from lockers here. I gotta hit that button and I guess hoof it all the way back, but there is also a green entrance there, but they're gonna find that the door is closed unless they get the button. Maybe they're gonna push a few people through that hallway into office and then hit the button and wait for that rotation. But
Yeah, I don't
that's gonna
know.
be a tough play, I think.
They do have some people setting up barbed wires to delay the hallway push as well. And I think if they set up people behind the cover there, they can really catch them off guard if they go through that barbed wire trying to go through the hallway. But I think once that button's pressed, I don't think they're going to try to go for the hallway. So
Yeah, I think so. I think they're just trying to get maybe ahead of that button there. But definitely a lockers push here. See what momentum can do. Bard
yeah, and
holding off in
Ozzy
the
set up with
corner.
the auto shotty there.
Yeah. Looks like it's gonna be a bit frantic here. Bard set up with a molly to slow that push. Looks like they're reading that locker play pretty well.
Yeah, I really hope that Bard like waits here for a while and just catches them off guard when they don't even know that he's there.
I hope so too. That would be hilarious. Getting a few wall bangs to see
Oh,
it here, flashing
Bard,
it
oh,
in,
they are
creeping
gonna
around.
check it. They are gonna check
Oh,
it.
Razor, get him down! Oh, Bard got him down. Oh, he's locked in the back with that
He
molly.
locked himself off in the Molotov.
Razor trying to get a few peeks through that window. The rest of the defenders are holed back up in kitchen, office, and hallway, waiting for the push. Bard goes down eventually. They know he had to come out at some point. Baziak with
That
that
was
kill.
still really a lot of value out of Bard there. Bard got a lot of damage on the attackers. That is very, very big
Oh
for this
yeah,
round.
that's huge. It's gonna be very tough push here for the attackers. Ozzy
Especially
waiting
when
for
they're
a
going to go
peek
for
in the
the
kitchen.
Aussie gauntlet.
Oh, the gauntlet for sure. That kitchen's gonna be lit up. Pushing around, Baziak and Mighty JSS pushing that hallway to secure it down, checking the backstage for any more stowaways. Flashing out, Ozzy getting ready, lines them up, but
Going
they
down
go
quickly.
down. Actually, Voxel takes them out, pushing in the office. Hallway is getting lit up. LTC trying to push back now. Mighty GSS waiting to push. The button still has not been pushed, and time is running out. I don't think they have enough time for this. Molly goes out to lock that down. Voxel hold up back with that auto shot. They're gonna make a play. They go down pretty well. Hitting that button, gonna try to make a miracle happen. 14 seconds. There's just not enough time for this bomb here.
Not much time,
Unfortunately
Brandon.
for them, gonna look to maybe keep their weapons here and just get out. That's the play.
Yeah, I think Bard sitting in that locker's room was extremely powerful for the round. I mean, Bard cut off around like 30 or 45 seconds of the attacking time there because of just his presence there in that area.
Absolutely. I just peeking around there and then blocking the push there off with the molly was very smart. I'm not sure if that was an accidental molly, hoping to maybe catch the door or not, but it worked out in their favor.
Yeah, it definitely worked out to waste a lot of the attacking time and stop them making any big plays because they didn't want to push anywhere with Bard still behind them, because if that's the case, then Bard could still get the drop on them at any moment. So they wanted to stick around, and they were able to waste enough time with that to put a lot more pressure on the attackers. And with a lot more pressure on the attackers, they were making a lot more mistakes, and the defenders made pretty good use of that.
Exactly. All right, moving into the last map here. If we're able to see a tie game here, we'll come down to a kill points. Am I correct? Oh, it just ends in a
It'll
tie,
just be
actually.
it'll just be a tie. So we'll see if GEC can close it up here with a 7-5, but maybe Momentum can get a really strong attacking round here. Although I don't know if they have much utility to work with. I mean,
It's gonna be slim pickings for sure.
they have two of their charges. They've used their wall charge, but they have both their charges, like I said. So they're able to at least go for one of the red door entrances and then set up a peeking hole through shorefront to at least gain some foothold on the bomb room to kind of stop any people from blocking their entry or whatnot.
It's like the defenders may be expecting a freezer push again.
Yeah, and it's definitely possible. I mean, it's one of the stronger entries into this map, I think. Office, there's a lot more cover in there that any defender could be sitting behind with a shotgun and just take out an attacker instantly, because those shotguns are rough. They can drop you from 150 health to 0 in an instant. So
yeah, just a well-placed shot for
Office
sure.
A little bit scary to take, and even Freezer as well. I mean, Freezer also has very claustrophobic cover here. It's very close quarters, but it's a little bit, it puts a little bit more range at the very least between the door and where someone could be hiding. And I don't think anyone's going to set up directly in the Freezer because of the flashbang. But
a lot of plays you don't actually see in casual play is putting a barbed wire on that Freezer entrance with the freezer look through the doors. Putting a barbed wire there is actually pretty smart.
The shelves. Yeah, because you can shoot those out and walk through them, but if that's blocked off with a barbed wire, there's no way you're going to get through there, especially with someone watching that angle.
All right. Momentum's still looking to decide what they're probably going to do here, walking all over the place.
I mean, yeah, this is their deciding round. They have to win this, so.
I know. Maybe they're thinking for a bit of a change up here. Let's see what happens. Opening that door into shed. Oh, they're going to be pushing shed with that push. They got both charges here, actually, both clappers. Set up with the auto shotty Vince in that office. This could be a bit of a tough push here for Momentum.
They're playing it very slowly here.
Voxel sneaking in. Freezer opening up to divert attention. Bard making that rotation though. Frag goes out. Molly goes out. Flashbangs. Vince just hammering her way through the smoke, trying to get anybody. Bard going down in the bathroom. The attackers have made their way into the north half of the map, locking it down. Ozzy hiding in that arcade. Voxel making a push here with that shot. He doesn't see him. Ozzy sneaking his way in. He takes a few shots, but has managed to get out. What is he doing?
He just ran in and ran right back out.
Incredible, the power of sprint.
And Vince taking out one of the attackers on the right side. I don't think they're going to be able to get through tellers here. I mean, there's an auto shotty locking it down. I don't know if there's much they can do to get in there.
Very tough. They're holding up for a big push to office, though. It's going to be brave. Picking up a flash to go into tellers, but he's loading it up with that auto shotty. Shots going out. Flash goes out. Rush into tellers. A total kerfuffle. Wow, and actually the auto shotty goes down and pizza.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness, a whole fight. LTC back to the corner.
It's up to Ozzy versus Spacious here.
Oh my gosh, LTC with a 3K, but it wasn't enough. Massey is pushing Ozzy. Is he gonna be able to pick him up? He's got like,
there's no time. They don't have any time to defuse. Looks like the match is gonna go to GEC.
Oh, the devs put in the chat.
Yeah.
Been abused.
That is a good game right there.
I mean, awesome.
What can you do in that situation? You're being harassed there by Ozzy in the bottom left. There's like 8 seconds left on the clock. You have to start defusing. There's no time to watch your back. There's nothing you can do in that situation. I know time was just ticking away, and they were not aware of it. Ozzy pulling a Houdini to get out of that. That was just incredible. That's They brought me to a close there at the end, and I think that's a well-deserved win there. I mean, both teams put
Definitely.
a lot of effort in this match. There was a lot of smart plays coming from both teams, a lot of mistakes coming from both teams, but that's guaranteed to happen whenever you're playing due process. It's kind of hard to guess exactly what the enemy is going to do. So,
Exactly. A bit of a slow start from the devs, but they were able to pull it back and win the whole thing.
yeah, now
All
we
right.
bring yeah, we're bring Momentum versus Gek to a close here. 7 points in favor of Gek, and Momentum with 5 points. A very heart wrenching loss for Momentum there, but they show that they were definitely a force to be reckoned with there.
Absolutely. That they had some really stellar plays in the past there, especially with that one play on Kill House where he's back in the corner. That was incredible to watch.
And now I believe we can go into a quick break here before the next match, I believe.
All right, guys, that'll actually be it for me, the Shoveler. Taking over for me will be Baja, but stick around. Spooky will still be on the mic. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Stick around. We have more games tomorrow at 3, so don't go anywhere.